my own history is I've been a community activist in this area for about 40 years, and this struggle hasn't just started. This struggle has been going on for hundreds of years, because it's them and us. And I hate to say that, and I hate to make that comparison, like, but that's a fact of life. For my own community activism side of it, I remember we had problems with the old housing up here in the valley area, and it was about dampness, condensation, whatever you want to call it, but it was a main issue for houses of this type, pre-war sort of housing, where there wasn't proper insulation, there wasn't proper heating, no double glazing windows and all that. And I remember we started a campaign then, because we had enough, because of our children suffering from asthma, bronchial diseases, and it was never ever addressed by Glasgow City Council or any housing providers. I remember Donald Dewar stayed in Cleveland and he was the First Minister, and I remember approaching him and asked him to come to our community to see how people were living, and the rebuttal, the doors get closed, nobody was answering the telephone. So we decided to march on Mr. Dewar's residence, you know, at the top of the hill. I felt going back to the medieval days. I was waiting in Donald throwing me a carrot or a tumshie, and people will know what a tumshie is. It came from the valley, because we used to go up and have to get bags of them to feed our children. But anyway, MI5 came and sort of, one asked me nicely, and because I says no, because I was protesting peacefully and I was waiting on Donald coming back from the Scottish Parliament, because I wanted to have a word with him, and I was sick and tired of trying through the normal channels. So we took it upon ourselves. We're only 500 yards away. We don't need taxis, we don't need buses, and we don't need to drive. We shall walk up the hill to the castle of Donald Dewar. And lo and behold, somebody noticed there was something untoward, because we were in his garden. And then, you know, the forces that be, the police, MI5 and all the rest of them, came to appeal to us, but we did not cave in. We stood our ground, and eventually there was a visit, and there was eventually that year to the next 2 years a couple of £1 million put into the area to eradicate dampness. And that's what you've got to do, because if you don't fight, they don't come, they don't tell you nicely, and they don't say to you, there you go my son. As my father said once, it's better to die standing up and on your knees, my son. Nobody's any better than you, and you're no any better than anybody else. So continue the fight and champion the people's justice. And that's what we're doing here today, because people, my children's children and their children have the right to decent housing. It's a basic fundamental right, and these people who think they know better don't know better. They didn't even know where the valley was until a couple of weeks ago when we went on video and told them, G20, come and see us and talk to us. And now they're going to be doing that, and hopefully the result will be with the people of the valley and other areas in Glasgow, working class areas, getting treated the same as all other people in society.